I know it's been a minute since we've done a live, but we're here tonight, right? We could be anywhere in the world, but you know what? We're here. So let me see what's going on. Let me see if we're live, if things are working out right here. We're going to talk about this, the stuff with Trump, and a bunch of people are mad about it, whether or not he could do it. Talk about a bunch of stuff tonight, right? Talk about, oh shit, 50 Cent. What did 50 Cent say today? Or was it yet? Or was it today? I don't know, but we're going to take a look. We'll see what's going on, see if we got this live going, see if we can get some people in here tonight. Let's see. Blood on the Razor Wire TV. It's been a minute. But we're here tonight. Let me see. View your channel. Okay, Amy's in the house. Bunch of people in the house. Let me turn this down so it don't get distorted. Boom. Then we'll go on here so I can see what's going on. All right, we should be good. All right, anyway, here we go. Shout out from Maryland, Skins Nation. What's up? Yeah, what's up with Meech? I don't know, man. I guess they're not gonna be doing that series no more, huh? I don't know. Anyway, I see El Prophet, man. He did a bunch of stuff on that, right? He's been rocking too. He's been rocking on his views, all of that stuff. But tonight, man, we'll talk about prison. We'll talk about, how that federal prison system works. And we're going to talk a little bit about this whole El Salvador thing. I'm going to keep it real with you guys. I'm not feeling too good. Kids are sick. Wife is sick. Everybody's sick, man. But decided that we got to, we kind of got to do this, right? Got a big interview coming up. Got a documentary we're putting out tomorrow. Hopefully everybody enjoys that. Want to make sure everybody can hear me. I put this little post up earlier about the El Salvador thing. And shout out from Kalamazoo, Michigan. Appreciate you, my brother. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I wonder if that's my buddy, man. We're doing the lawsuit with. Is that you? Is that your name on here? Stephen McNally? So anyway, I put this up and people are like, oh no, they wouldn't do that with American citizens, all of that stuff. You end up in that super prison. We'll talk about how they do contracts and how they send people out and different places. How many people want to see a Tommy Reynolds interview? Oh, you never know. It might be, it's coming. It might be out soon. So, Marco Rubio goes over there, they're meeting, they're talking. Marco Rubio, Secretary of State. They're talking to the president of El Salvador and his people, his administration. And he's like, look, man, check this out. We got you. There's a lot of things going on in the prison system, right? And we'll talk about Georgia, too, a little bit, right? Seen some really disturbing videos from over there, right? So, a lot of things that you get, we'll talk about some of the stuff that's going on in the federal prison system that a lot of people don't even know about. But, wow, man, I'm looking at some of these pictures from this super prison. It's pretty serious. So anyway, they're over there, they're kicking it, and they're like, hey, look, man, we're willing to take your prisoners. Of course, they want some of that American money, right? Can they take American prisoners? I mean, you got these trendy Aguero guys running around here living a lawless life. What do you think? How do you think they would feel? How do you think they would feel if Trump's like, all right, don't worry, we got something for you. Yeah, we're going to give you 30 years over here in the feds, but we're going to send you over to El Salvador to do that time. You're like, damn, this shit just got real, right? You guys see I had to put that stuff on the light up there because my editor said it's too bright on the green screen. You know what I mean? So that's why that stuff's up there. What kind of American are you? What kind of American are you? I guess I'm Irish American, right? But anyway, people are like, oh, they can't do this. Look, I'm going to tell you this, that there's people, and don't mind me, man, if I'm like, because I'm sick. You got to make sure I'm country in the house, man. I hope you're doing all right, country. Country's going through a lot of stuff. For those of you that know or don't know, his girl passed away. But, if they started, look, if they started telling people, hey, look, these are the consequences. We've said it 1,000 times on here, and people have weighed in, right? I said, man, I won't even commit it. I'm not going to commit no crimes, but I wouldn't even think of committing a crime in Alabama, right? I don't even want to drive through Alabama. I don't even want to fly over Alabama. You know why? Because I would never want to be put in that system. Georgia. We're probably going to do a documentary on Georgia, all the killings that are going on over there, man. There's some pretty vicious videos out, man. I got a homeboy that I had grew up with, man. He sent me a couple of videos. I'm like, damn, bro. Like, this is recent shit that's going on. The Muslims end up, hitting another dude. The ghost face dudes, they hit a dude, they kill him. One of the white dudes ends up killed. One of the leaders for the Bloods ends up killed. Like, there's all kinds of shit going on over there. But what if you knew, like, hey, look, check this out. This is what they're about to do. Trump's gonna, put you through the Department of Justice, right? You go through the court proceedings. You get done, and they say, hey, we're gonna contract out to El Salvador, right? mean, I don't know all the laws, all the rules when it comes to, prisoner transfers. I do believe it's probably unconstitutional to take an American citizen and send them, to El Salvador, an American. Yeah, instead of sending you to the SMOO program, how would you feel if they're like, yo, we got something for you? We're not gonna send you to the SMOO program. We're sending you to El Salvador, to the super prison, right? And the president over there is like, yo, the people over here in El Salvador have had enough of your shit. Other countries have had enough. You're from here. They're like, you know what? You're from here. We're taking you back from the U.S. You did your little 20 years in the feds. You're coming back. You're MS. You're blasted out. We're going to put you in prison over here now, right? Head down. We're the boss over here, right? If that shit was going on, and, some people might get the prison eliminated crime in El Salvador. It did, man. I don't think Trump is allowed to send U.S. citizens. I don't either. But, there's always a caveat, right? And someone will find it. Will they start shipping people over there? Americans? I mean, you'll have all kinds of civil rights groups, involved in this. I mean, then you'd probably be talking about, the Eighth Amendment, your right against cruel and unusual punishment. You start talking about all that shit. So it probably would be a big, big thing, right, if you started sending, some Americans over there. But could you imagine if they're like, oh, shit, you were in Big Sandy. You were stabbing people. You're one of the worst that we got. So what we're going to do is we're going to send you over to El Salvador. Let's see you make a knife over there. Like Georgia. Look at what's going on in Georgia, man. We're not allowed to put these videos on here on YouTube. I wish I could. I guess I could take them and put them on. They definitely won't let you put them on TikTok. But I think we could take them and put them on Instagram, right? And then you guys can go check out the Instagram page tomorrow. I'll have my editor put the labels on them, and we'll put them on Instagram. Let's do that. So you can see the shit that's really going on over there, man. Dude, blood everywhere. Dudes leaking. Dudes are tied up in the cell. Dudes are like, okay, stomp them. They're stomping on this dude's head, and then they stab him. They probably stabbed this dude like 30 times. Like, where the fuck are the police at, right? The police are scared. There's no control. But if you take your ass over to El Salvador to that prison, and some people are going to get mad about this shit, but, man, it's just crazy that dudes have to live that way, right? Who the fuck wants to live that way? I'll tell you guys now, man, I'm a father and a husband now, Yeah, we as a country will pay them to take the prisoners. That would be one hell of a deterrent, but man, never forget the wrongfully convicted. Yeah, I mean, who would want to be in El Salvador, right? How do you fix a problem like the Georgia prison system or the Alabama prison system? When you see shit like that, man, I don't like to see people victimized, man. I don't like to see a dude tied up, man. Your jails are not run by police anymore. Yeah. Maybe they ain't. Some of these jails aren't. I mean, when you're in Georgia, you're definitely not in a prison that's ran by the police, right? When dudes are tying you up and stabbing you, continuously stabbing you. 215 people in the house. Hit that like button for us, man. We need them likes tonight. We only got 25 likes. Open a prison in Alaska like Russia has in Siberia. Country ghost in the house. That locked up abroad show was some real shit. Shit is real. You get over there, you probably think twice like, man, who wants that consequence? Dudes don't want that consequence. You don't want to be sent to El Salvador to their super prison. And what do they get? Like, they get meat like once a week over there. You get chicken like once a week, rice and beans on the regular. Yo, you're going to be hungry, man. Let's see what they say. The prisons, man, I'm looking at some of these pictures. The prisons, dining halls, break rooms, gym, and board games. And board games are for guards. They're not for the... In April 2021, a year before the start of the state of emergency, the government reported nearly 36,000 prisoners. The president said, man, we ain't going for that shit. We ain't going for that. We're going to get busy over here, man. What do human rights advocates say? Yeah, they say, hey, man, human rights people are like, yo, you can't be doing this shit, right? You're in El Salvador. The president's like, dude, do you think we care about what you got to say? We're going to do what we got to do over here to protect our people, right? And then, the one thing that I had learned, man, about being in federal prison is that, some bad shit happens there, right? Some real violent shit happens. But if they come in there and they want to lock that shit down, they lock it down. I mean, sometimes every once in a while, we talked about my old celly. Some people get at the cops, right? Some people will get at the cops. But at the end of the day, the cops always win over here in the feds, man. If they want to lock your ass in, they're going to lock your ass in. You're going to get in that cell. In Georgia, where they're just tying dudes up and kicking their heads in and stabbing them. And some people might be like, but what if he was a Chosky? And what if he did? I mean, it is what it is, right? I've seen some pretty vicious stuff with Choskis over there, right? You seen the video of the dude, they told him, hey, man, jump in the air and land on your knees. You're like, oh, white dude. He's like, what'd I do? Boy, you know what you done did, boy. You better jump in the air and land on your knees on the concrete, boy. He's like, nah, I don't want to. They've done some pretty vicious shit over there, right? But what if you're a dude that was involved in some gang shit? Or what if you're a dude where And I've seen this in federal prison. Dudes plot on you, man. Dudes are plotting on your shit. So they make up stuff. They make up shit. They make up stuff so they can take your shit. What if they're doing that shit over there? They're tying you up, making up shit, and stabbing you, man. You're like, damn, bro, could you imagine being tied up and stabbed and there's nothing you could do? There's like 10 dudes on you stabbing you, man. Or you had a beef with another group, man. You grow up, you're a gang member. And, I've seen some people leave comments, right? Let's just keep it what it is. It's real and it's raw, right? People are like, yo, man, you're doing this to your own people. People are like, yo, man, you're destroying your own people. There's no remorse. Some of these motherfuckers are cold-hearted, man. And I got to say this, right? I hope, man, you're cold-hearted, you're doing shit like that. Maybe you don't belong in the street. Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't belong in the street at all, man. You know what I'm saying? It's absolutely horrible, man. Absolutely horrible. El Salvador has managed to go from being the world's most dangerous country to the safest country in the Americas. How did we do it? By putting criminals in jail. Is there space? There is now. Even before his announcement with Rubio, I don't know how to say the president's name, Bukele, had planned to put more people in prison. Bukele ordered the mega prison built as he began his campaign against El Salvador's gangs in March 2022. It opened a year later in the town of Tacoluca, about 45 miles east of the capital, able to hold 40,000 prisoners, man. And what is he saying? He's like, yo, we could get a couple dollars, man. We'll house your guys. It's going to cost us about $2 a day to feed them, probably less. To feed them and house them, maybe $3 a day. We'll charge the United States $15 a day. We're going to make a profit, mass profit. Give us all you got. We'll take them. And this is the other part. Now, let me explain this part so you guys can understand this, right? You get arrested by the feds, right? Federal criminal justice system, you're in the feds, 276 people. This is what they do in the feds, right? They contract out to what? County jails, right? Remember I talked about that Chickasha County Jail? They contract out to them. That was a broke-down-ass jail, man. It was a broke-down-ass jail. Now they got new buses. They built a new jail. They got new mattresses, new sheets, new blankets, and they're taking all the feds, right? This is a U.S. Marshal transport, right? The other thing that they do in the feds that some of you might not know is they contract people out, right? Let's say, and we'll use Aaron Pike, for instance, right? But they do it the other way, too. I'm still sick, Mark, but I'm feeling a little bit better where I can come on here and do this. My kids are extremely sick. Took them to the doctors today. So Aaron Pike, right? You guys all know the story. My cellie Aaron gets stabbed numerous times. They end up, putting him in a state prison system. They contract him out from the feds, to keep him safe, right? Dude gets stabbed over nothing, man. He's the wrong dude. They just stab him just to stab him, right? Pretty much. We're going to show you guys who we are, and they stab him. In California, it costs about $300,000 a year to house each prisoner, mostly management fees. In New York, $360,000. I don't know about that, brother. I think it probably costs about $36,000 to $40,000 a year to house people. At least I know that's probably what the federal number is. But anyway, they're going to save a whole bunch of money anyway by housing these dudes over there if they decide that they can do that legally. Whether or not they can is up for debate. I think it's an Eighth Amendment violation 100%. But, I mean, there might be some ways that they can do different shit, and you never know. If there's a caveat in there, they're going to find it. And Marco Rubio's big on punishment, big on criminal justice, big on, putting you in jail for the rest of your life and throwing away the key. That's who Marco Rubio is. He went over there. Obviously, the brother speaks Spanish. He's Hispanic. He's the guy he sends over there. Hey, man, talk to these people. And Trump, he puts this thing together where, he's hard on criminals and this and that. But he let Ross Albright out of prison, right? He let Ross Albright out of prison, right? Silk Road. He had life. I know his mother, I think, worked on his campaign, probably donated a bunch of money, and he promised he would let him out of jail. But he also created the First Step Act, right? He let a bunch of people out of jail, including myself. If it wasn't for Trump, I wouldn't be here on YouTube and wouldn't be rocking a Bills hat right now. I'd probably be, what time is it? Oh, man, wow, crazy day. We'll talk about today, too. What does today represent, right? 7:16 p.m., I'd probably be in the law library right now doing some legal work. That's what I'd be doing. But instead, I'm here. I'm free. Thank God I'm free, right? Appreciate that more than I could ever say in words, right? So although, there's this Reddit where he's like hardcore probation officer's perspective. Appreciate you. I did a story on that prison in El Salvador a month ago or so. It's crazy, but they don't play there. Check out probation officer's perspective. He was a dude that was in trouble, ended up becoming a probation officer. We had him on for an interview. Check out his story. Check out his channel. Anyway, but they contract people out, right? And they also contract people in. I was with this dude from Boston when we were in USP Lee. He was from Boston, Massachusetts prison system, very influential dude. The Massachusetts Department of Corrections contract this dude over to the feds. Like, yo, we can't handle this dude. We want to send him over there. There's dudes that are absolute nutcases that they can't house in state prison systems. And they're like, yo, you know what? We're going to contract with the feds. This dude needs to go to ADX. They send his ass over to ADX. There's dudes in the ADX that are state prisoners, not federal prisoners, but doing their time over there. If you think that Trump isn't going to try to figure out a way, you're sadly mistaken. He's going to figure out a way. Damn, someone was calling my other phone. Let me turn that off. We don't want that thing ringing, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, but could you, what do you think would happen if they took some of them dudes from Georgia and sent them over there? Huh? You know, when you're running around being a tough guy, and I hate people like this, man. I hate dudes, man, that, you know, they got the upper hand, so they're going to tie your ass up, stab you, kick you in the face, jump on you when there's 4 or 5 dudes, 10 dudes. That's some real sucker shit, man. That's some real sucker shit. I know there's always going to be, you know, people, don't send them to Delaware. I know they play PlayStation and everything over there, right? But, you know, there's always dudes, man, that do shit like that. Those are the dudes, man. You can get mad at me if you want. I'd love to send a couple of them dudes that are on video doing that shit to people, man, over to El Salvador, man. Yeah, go over to El Salvador and see how that works. Mark, man, text me, bro. Don't come in my chat, you know, saying dumb shit to me, man. Text me, bro, and I'll respond, as I always do. But what would happen if they took them dudes and sent them over there to El Salvador? All that tough guy shit would be out the window, huh? They might be the ones calling their mother. Ah! Trump back sending dangerous American prisoners to other countries. This was another article that came out 2 hours ago. President Donald Trump said he's looking into whether he can imprison American criminals. People are like, he just meant that for the MS-13. People were making those comments. Well, no, they didn't mean that. They also said American citizens. And the president over there said, we'll gladly accept them. We'll gladly accept them. What is the best college football team? You know it's Notre Dame. Anyway, President Donald Trump said he's looking into whether he can imprison American criminals of the most severe cases in other countries. I'm just saying, if we had a legal right to do it, I would do it in a heartbeat, Trump told reporters in the Oval Office on Tuesday. I don't know if we do or not. We're looking at that right now. That's scary, man. That should have made you be like, man, I ain't committing no crimes, bro. I ain't looking for no trouble. I don't want to go to El Salvador. I don't want to go to El Salvador. Well, maybe. I got some really, really close friends. If you guys see my pictures when we're at the Bills games with my boy Anna, with my buddy Juan and Anna, his wife, and his wife and my wife are very, very close. They're from El Salvador. They go on vacation there. And you know what, man, I wouldn't mind going on vacation there, you know, as long as they can keep a gringo safe. You know what I'm saying? I ain't looking for no beef, man. I don't want no problems with the president. I don't know if we do or not. We're looking at that right now. His remarks signal a dramatic escalation of his deportation agenda, which initially targeted immigrants in the country illegally. It's not clear what legal authority the Trump administration would cite to institute imprisoning Americans abroad. Wow. Could you, man, that's scary, man. That's scary. You know what I mean? Trump let me out of prison, man. Thank you. Thank God. But that right there, that's scary. But how do you fix a place like Georgia? How do you fix a place like Alabama? People are going to get mad. People are going to get really mad. This is how they do it, man. This is how they do it. People got to be locked in a cell because you obviously can't be out in population. You're tying people up and stabbing them, man, over petty shit. How about the one video I put on Instagram? They're like, oh, man, the dude that brought you home, man, he wasn't able to do that. So they tackle the dude. They start tattooing shit on his forehead. They're beating him to death because someone brought him home. When I say brought him home, someone brought him into the gang that was no good. So now he has to pay the repercussions for his big homie who wasn't a real big homie. Like, come on, man. Come on. Man, that gang shit, man, that shit gets wore out too, man. Had a dude hit me up today, man. I'm not going to say what group or whatever, but, you know, he's talking about that gang life, man. When you talk about that gang life, you talk about that prison gang life, you know what it is, man. He's like, man, a lot of dudes had positions, man, that didn't really put in the work, that didn't really deserve it. But all the soldiers, man, they were the ones that took the consequences and didn't get those positions. Man, listen, I'm going to give it to you real and raw, man. I'm going to give it to you real and raw, man. Anytime you're involved in any life like that, this is what it is, man. You want to be in a prison gang? This is what it is. You know, there's always going to be people that play a position in life, right? Sometimes people go to the top that don't deserve it, right? But really, when you sit back and you think about it, who the fuck wants to be the leader of a gang anyway? Is that your accomplishment in life? Man, I was the leader of MS-13, homie. And then they sent me to El Salvador for 20 years, and now look at me. I'm washed the fuck up. Like, that's the reality, man. Same thing with any gang, man. I don't care what gang you're in, man. White gangs, black gangs, Hispanic gangs, that's what it is. So anyway, let's get a little more of this info, right? On Monday, Secretary of State Marco Rubio said that El Salvador President Nayib Bukele agreed to accept deportees from the U.S., including violent American prisoners. There you go. You're in prison stabbing people, and people are commenting on these videos. They're like, let me see what that said. Hold on, Amy. Let me see. But I lost $1,000. Might be on you, but yeah. We'll talk about the bills later, not right now. We're going to talk about these bills they're trying to send to El Salvador. You know what I mean? So what would happen? What would happen if they started sending these dudes over there, man? The violent American prisoners. Though he would charge a fee, according to the Associated Press, Rubio's visit to El Salvador was to ensure the country would fall in line with Trump's mass deportation efforts. So he's like, yo, look, check this out, man. We're sending a bunch of MS dudes over here. You guys are cool with that. You're going to take them and put them in jail, and these are bad dudes, right? The El Salvadorians I work with love the president because he made it safe for the first time in forever. They're saying it's safe for gringos now, but I still ain't risking it. I might give it a shot, bro. Can Chad get 30 more likes? Double tap the screen. Hit them likes, man. Hit them likes. So, anyway, to ensure look, we're going to send these people. And the president's like, look, man, check this out. He's using it as a good moment, right? He's using it, but wait till what else he says. He's using it as a good moment to say, hey, look, man, let me put a couple dollars in my country's pocket. Because if you were to send your prisoners over here and we were to make $10 a day profit, and probably around that, believe it or not, $10 a day profit, we pay for our whole prison system based off of our contract with the United States. With the United States. We can send them and he will put them in his jails, Rubio said of migrants of all nationalities imprisoned in the U.S. after meeting with Bukele. And he's also offered to do the same for dangerous criminals currently in custody and serving their sentences in the United States, even though they're U.S. citizens or legal residents. No, they're not talking about Americans. They're not. The fuck they ain't. Bukele on Monday evening said El Salvador would gladly take the Democratic, Bob Mendez, the former New Jersey senator who was sentenced to 11 years in prison last week. What would happen to Bob Mendez if he went to a prison in El Salvador? Think about that. Now, you guys seen fat ass Bob, right? I said, Bob, I hope you like rice and beans, bro, because they're going to put you on the Ozempic El Salvador diet, my boy. You're going to be eating beans, brother. You might just be eating beans and water. And if some of the homies don't want you to have it, you might not be eating that. Who was sentenced to 11 years in prison last week for accepting bribery payments from other countries. He has not been accused or convicted of any violent crime. So they're like, yo, man, tell Trump, man, we'll take Bob, man. Come on, Robert. Come on, Bobby. That's the Spanish Bobby. That's the Spanish Bobby Hill, right? Like, come on, bro. Don't call me Bobby Hill either, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't call me Bobby Hill. Instead of sending people somewhere they need to get them under control, then should have guys like Chad that did a lot of time sit on a panel to help fix them. Man, listen. This is the problem, right? Dudes don't understand what prison is. They don't understand what consequences are. But sometimes when you take these dudes, you put them in Georgia, and you give them life, and they're 22 years old, 24 years old. They've been, in the street. They've been selling dope. They've been selling crack. They're gang members. They go to prison young, and they know they ain't never getting out. So what is there to lose? They're still living that life. Keep your hat on, Eddie Munster. I got the McDonald's sign going in the front, you know what I'm saying? But I still got a little bit of hair right there, my boy. You have a folder and spiral notepad and the light fixtures. Yeah, that blocks out some stuff. My editor said the light was too bright. But don't worry, man. We're working on the studio. We will have a studio very soon. Send me your book. Send me an email. Audio book for you tonight for free. We need some likes. We only got 96 likes. Hit that like button, man. Hit that like button, man. Donate $1 tonight. Jeremiah Kirby did my face tattoo. Shane, email me, bro. There's the email right below your message right there, homeboy. You were probably in some places with him, man. You probably got some stories, man. Email me. Let's do an interview, bro. Let me see if I can pin this real quick. Pin the message. Hit me up, bro. Shoot me your number. I'll call you. I'll probably call you tomorrow. My brother was with you in the feds. He said you're his boy. OG Bobby Johnson. Who was your brother? Are the prison guards at USPs all tall, jacked, or are any of them normal? A bunch of them are overweight. Some dudes work out. Some dudes don't. Some dudes are assholes. Some dudes are all right dudes. Some dudes just come to do their job. What's the best prison hustle? They still do phone cards? The best prison hustle is probably tattoos and legal work, brother. Face tat. Wow. About to get one tomorrow, dude. I'm going to get the Mike Tyson joint right here. I'll always be ready for Halloween. I'm just joking. Yeah, so I mean, this El Salvadorian prison, man, definitely not the place to be. And I'm sure that Donald Trump and those people are really probably looking at it. I know one thing. You think some people ain't scared? How much time did you do, sir? I did 18 years straight. Well, actually, 17 years, 5 months, and 21 days straight. In the feds. USP Pollock, USP Lee. Been some places, man. Reentry house is going, man. We got about 6 people over there. We're meeting with some more people. I'm sick. I was supposed to meet with some other people. And one of the best things that happened there is the dude that used to be my federal probation officer sent me one of his guys. One of his guys is actually living there. Every Saturday made everyone say good morning to him. Is that true? I don't know, man. I seen some dudes, man. I seen one of the big homies slap one of their dudes over there and he's like, "What'd I do, big homie?" Like, I seen an inmate slap the cop too there. I mean, there's a lot of shit that happens in those places, man. A lot of wild, wild stuff. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, when we're talking about the Georgia prison system, I'm gonna put some of these videos up tomorrow on my Instagram, right? When you see this stuff, it should be disturbing. Tyreek from Jersey. I don't know where we were at, man. Tell Tyreek to hit me up, man. Tyreek. I'm trying to think, man. I knew a few Tyreeks, but I'm trying to think Jersey, right? Raybrook. We were over there with Mass. You know who Mass is if you're from Jersey, right? Massacre. But anyway, man, we got some big interviews coming up, man. Make sure you stay tuned. And then, go check out these videos about Georgia, man, about that Georgia prison system, man. I'm telling you now, it's a vicious, vicious system to be in. Not a place that anyone wants to be in, man. What is your Instagram? It's Chad Marks. 101 or 102? You'll find me on there. I'm easy to find. Do an interview with the Alaskan Avenger. JD's got that all sewed up, bro. I gotta eat a cough drop, man. And then, what's going on with the Big Meech thing? I seen a bunch. I see El Prophet putting out some big stuff on that, right? How about the video that I put up yesterday? Let's talk a little bit about that, right? We're gonna do that today. I hope my stuff freeze. On my thing it froze. I don't know why it's frozen, but let me see what's going on. The lady yesterday, right? Someone sends me this video and says, "Man, is there any way you can help this lady? She's all been out of shape for her son." And I look at it, right? I know they're talking about Tammy and all that stuff, right? Anyway, the lady, someone had sent me that video. The lady crying, my son. They're saying they're going to kill him, give him the death penalty, all of that stuff. I probably shouldn't be eating this cough drop while I'm on here, right? Let me get rid of that. I'm sorry. I got a little piece, though, just to clear me out. If they can send him to El Salvador, they can send him to Gitmo in Cuba, which they're getting ready to do that for sure. That's going to happen for sure. Remember, I told you that's going to happen for sure. There ain't a doubt in my mind that that's going to happen. But the lady was crying, man, looking for help for her son, don't have the financial resources to get down there to see him. And you could feel the lady's pain. And I'm going to be straight up with you. I felt her pain, right? I want to donate her a couple dollars, man. You know what I mean? Her son, allegedly, this girl that works at, I think, Walmart, kidnaps her and ends her life, right? And they're looking for the death penalty in South Dakota. And they're probably going to put this kid to sleep. But you could tell that he's probably got mental health problems, right? You can always tell. If you've been to prison, people got their eyes like this. And like, "Hey, what's up, man?" You're like, "Yo, he's got the blank stare. He's probably twisted, right?" And I guarantee this kid's twisted. Obviously, if you do some crazy shit like that, you got some problems, man, for sure. But anyway, I know I felt her pain. But what about that girl, that young lady's mother and father that lost their daughter, right? They're in the same type of pain. And this dude's got mental health problems. Florida, I see you, man. Florida boy, I'll send you an audio book tonight. But you can see in this mother, right? You can see in this mother that she's destroyed, that she's hurt, that she just wants to talk to her son and comfort her son. It's her only son. And we can understand your pain. But your son did something brutal, allegedly, right? Allegedly. And I read a bunch of the stuff, the case, the appeals, some of the filings in the case, because I was interested in finding out what happened. And it don't look good. It looks like the son did some really bad shit, right? And people that watch this channel, man, whenever we talk about Choskis and things like that, people are like, man, put him in the wood chipper, man. Get rid of him. You know, and if the dude has mental health problems, which I believe he does, man, I'm so sorry for the family, right? California prisons are not the worst. Georgia and Alabama are the worst. Mississippi's close. Florida, Texas. But, you know, in Texas, I think the cops got control over there, too. I think the cops in Texas will beat your ass, man. Mississippi off the chain. But anyway, this lady with her son did some vicious stuff. It is what it is, man. It's not. I mean, I think if he's got mental health problems, man, then maybe we know who Tammy is. I did videos on this stuff a long time ago, right? Time to put the Buffalo Bill stuff back in your closet now. I'm a Bills fan forever, bro. And we got robbed. And I don't care what no one says. I didn't used to believe in none of that conspiracy theory shit, but I was there, man. 3 rows behind Josh Allen, man. There was a bunch of bullshit. There's always calls that are missed on both sides of the ball. We'll talk a little football for about 1 minute, all right? There's always calls on both sides of the ball where they get it wrong. But they got major, major calls wrong in this game, man. Game-changing calls. Game-changing. And, I mean, you've seen this shit all over, so we don't have to get into it, but you know what it is. It's out of season. As a Dolphins fan, I can confirm you got robbed. And then I put this video out because I was really pissed off about the Philadelphia Eagles fans because they're nasty. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Punching people, beating people up, throwing shit on you. Like, I don't do shit like that. You know what I mean? It's a game, man. You can talk some shit. I used to, I've been in a lot of fights in prison, man, when I was younger over, playing basketball, right? Talking shit and we fight, whatever. But, when you grow up, man, you're an adult, man, fighting over a football game and you got the numbers. And that's another thing, man. Punks, right? You got the numbers. So now you want to hit the dude in the head and steal his hat and kick him in the ass and all of that. Come on, man. Yeah. As a Raiders fan, I have no sympathy. Why? Why would the Raiders hate the Bills? Yeah, I can't stand the Chiefs. Stop the Cashapp. Oh, okay. It is what it is, man. We're not going to get in a debate about football tonight. We're talking about that El Salvador prison. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Do you think the Trump administration is going to figure out a way to send, he's going to figure out a way to send, the El Salvador dudes and maybe them, Tren de Aguero, Venezuelan gang members. But can he send Americans over? Are they going to figure out a way? Dudes are in Beaumont stabbing people. Dudes are on Big Sandy stabbing people. What are they going to do? What's going to happen, right? Are they going to say, hey, man, we don't have a SMOO program no more. We don't have a special management unit. We're going to send your ass over to El Salvador. I'll bet you people are like, oh, no, you're violating my rights. Oh, now you want to talk about violating rights. Now you want some compassion, right? Man, I don't never want to go to prison ever again, and I definitely don't want to go to prison there. And I said that today was a big day, right? February 4th, 2003. What was that, February 4th. Anyway, man, over 20 years ago, right? I was arrested, man, at 6:04 p.m. They put the Choskis over there. They're really in for it, huh? I hope Trump does send people to El Salvador. Keep pushing the positive. I hope they do find a way to send any violent offender to El Salvador to teach them a lesson. They're definitely going to learn if they get over there, huh? You might appreciate your freedom. But yeah, man, February 4th, 2003, 6:04, I think it was, p.m., I was arrested, man. And I didn't see the streets again for 17 years, 5 months, and 21 days. So today's a big day, right? In a couple months, man, I'll be out. Wow. I'll be out 5 years, man. That feels good, man. And then let me give you guys an update. For everybody that's been watching the channel, you want to know about Sean Brooks. So I'm going to give it to you about Sean Brooks. They did take Sean Brooks back to prison. He's in MDC Brooklyn. Maybe I'll put his stuff up tomorrow. If somebody, you guys want to send him a couple dollars, that's up to you. Some people said that they did. They sent Sean back. We put a Holloway motion together for Sean. We put a clemency petition explaining what the hell Sean's been going through. And we're also looking into, how they can, take a 2-year probation sentence and turn it into another 5 years, right? The problem is his lawyer back then was instructed to file an appeal and never did. So Sean went back to jail, right? The brother that was in Big Sandy broke down about his kid's mother losing her life, just the day before that interview. And then, James Tober, right? The dude that was on DMI, let you guys know that we have this brother, man, that's a beautiful brother. Did time, came home, got himself together, started his own business. He reached out to me. 2 other people reached out to me. Like, hey, man, I'm willing to get this dude a job, bro. What's up? So this brother actually, I sent James some money to get him a jacket, get him over to the airport. This brother sent James a plane ticket, and James is going to be leaving, and he's going to be going to Iowa to do some construction work. He's got a job now. And you know what? I just want to see him do good, man. I want to see this dude make it. So those that tuned in and are wondering if we really did help him, we really did. But really, man, I don't know if dude wants me to mention his name on here, but if you do, bro, and you're watching, just text me and give me permission, and I'll do it tomorrow. This brother offered this dude a job, man, and paid for his plane ticket to Iowa to go down there and work. And they go to different places, Detroit, North Carolina, New York, and they're, remodeling all kinds of houses all over the country. But this dude got out of jail, and he told me his story, right? I got to bring this dude on for an interview. He told me a story where he's like, look, bro, I got out of jail. I was mowing grass for $10 an hour. I didn't really like how dude was treating me. I figured, you know what? Saved up a couple dollars, bought my own shit with $1,000, I think, right? No, not Sean Brooks, the MMA fighter. He said, I saved $1,000, man, got my own little tools, and went and got my own contracts. And that turned into other things for me. This is a dude that came home from prison with nothing except for the hustle, man, the grind. Like, I want to have a better life. And he put this company together, and he's doing great, and he just employed a dude that we put on here that we just did an interview with that was struggling to find a job. Bubba Sparks. When I went to spring break, man, some dudes called me that back in the day. I was hanging out with these kids from Alabama, of all places, right? But anyway, man, Blood on the Razor Wire TV. Stay tuned. We got a documentary tomorrow. Got a big interview coming up. Got a couple big interviews coming up, which I think people will enjoy. And like I said, man, I really wish that the documentaries would take off. They take a long time. Even if they're 14, 15 minutes, sometimes they take 4 or 5 hours to put together. Bro, my boy Sean McGahee is at Forest City. Need your help with the first step back. Such a good dude. Got hemmed up. And are you him like they did you with a gun charge? Help, homie. Email me, man. My email's at the top. It's pinned. Just email me your number and I'll call you tomorrow, all right? Anyway, man, again, I appreciate everybody that's here, man. The channel is growing. Hopefully we can start getting the views up, man, when we get the studio rocking. Anybody that really knows what kind of cameras and microphones we should use, you should email me, bro. Tell me what to use. I'll go buy the best shit they got. I prefer the docs. I think a lot of people like the interviews. Some people like that. But anyway, it's all good. So, look, man, we're going to get to it, man. I appreciate everybody that's been here tonight. Go take care of my kids, man. They're sick. Plus, I got a big interview I'm doing in about an hour. And then we'll put that out. Sometimes you guys see me, man. I'm doing interviews at 6 in the morning. I do them at 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night. But, we do what we can. Anyway, everybody, man, have a good night. Blood on the Razor Wire TV. Appreciate everybody that's been here. Everybody that's helping out. Everyone that's a part of the movement, man. Call your mother tonight and tell her you love her, your father, man. You never know, man. You never know. And make sure you take care of your kids. In honor of Philly Free Moomin. Blood on the Razor Wire TV. Until tomorrow, with respect, we're out of here.